treasures.
Jazz hands.
Hello. I don't know why I'm doing this, but okay. So today we wanted to talk about something that is very, very cool, and it's wildlife.
It can be scary, too.
It can be scary, yeah. So we have had many encounters with wildlife because we like to camp. We've camped for many years. Some of these stories didn't actually happen to us. It happened to our brother or, something like that. So not all of them actually happened to us. And
it's not like you have to be an outdoorsy person to run into wildlife.
Right.
It's going to be there. You live in this world. It happens.
Yeah. So anyways, I forgot what I was going to say.
Anyways,
let's start over. So if you see,
it's going great so far, folks.
It's going really smoothly.
Okay.
So if you've seen the episode of when we were in the desert, you can go see it up here. We almost got trapped in the desert. But some of these you might have heard from that story, like maybe one or two. We're trying to get as many as we could that you've never heard before. But if you've seen that one, there might be one or two that you've already heard. But just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah.
All right. So the first one is our brother. Now, brother is a park ranger, and he's always liked the outdoors. He's always been going on camping trips, and he was with the SCA for a while, which is the Student Conservation Association. And it's like a wildlife, camping, learn how to be park rangers program.
You just live in the woods.
Yeah.
You learn stuff.
There you go. But he has had many, some of these are just from him because he's had so many encounters with wildlife. Mm-hmm. So the first one is, one time he was camping, and he was, it was a trip where he was like helping to rebuild bridges, and
this was with the SCA.
Exactly, it was. So he was doing that, and he would stay out in the woods just in a tent for like 5 to 10 days straight. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it was pretty rough in it.
It was.
It was just
I don't think
outdoors.
I could do that, to be honest. One time he was in his tent, and he was just waking up. It was really early in the morning, and he felt like this really, like his tent was shaking, and he heard this loud noise, and it's like something big was walking past him.
Something was happening.
So he didn't get up. He kind of just laid there and let it go away. But then he realized that the sounds he had heard and what it had done to like maybe some stuff he had outside, he had just had a bear walk past his tent. Wow.
What?
A bear. Yeah. Now we're not sure if it's a brown bear, grizzly bear, black bear. We didn't know.
See it, but it was a bear.
It was a bear. So that would be pretty scary.
Okay. So the next one is,
you might have heard this one. This
was the one we told in the other episode. We were at the Grand Canyon. And we were staying there for probably 2 weeks. We were just kind of going all around Arizona. Mm-hmm. And we were at a part of the Grand Canyon where we just heard a ranger talk about conures. And there was like this hotel thing that we went to visit. And as we were walking back to the parking lot from doing this, like from a complete mountainside, there just appeared 1 and then 2 mountain goats.
What?
Like,
wow.
I mean, it was like a sheer cliff, and then it's just like, whoop.
Yeah, they just jumped up. It was literally like your kittens jumping over a gate.
Yeah, and they were just like, hey, guys.
Yeah,
and
there
was like, I mean, it was a busy area, so of course they came up and then they like ran. So we have like, the picture of them running away.
Yeah.
But the one was like, it had actual like those horns that they get.
Yeah, they were big.
It was a male.
Yeah. So the next one is, we went to Assateague Park,
which is my favorite place ever.
It is pretty cool. But it's a park that is really cool. It actually has wild horses in it. Mm-hmm. And we camped there, and you'll just look, and there's like 10 horses over there that are just totally wild.
Just walking
and they
through.
just walk by.
It's
and
crazy.
They don't really bother you. Like, of course you have to stop and wait forever if they would like cross the dirt road.
Yeah.
And you'd have to wait.
It's their island. You're just in their island.
Right.
But I mean, they just kind of do their thing, and you do yours, and that's pretty awesome.
So when we were there, we had this pop-up, and we still have a pop-up. It's a different one. But on the 2 sides, they come out, and it's 2 beds.
Pop-up trailer.
Trailer, yeah. So we were sleeping one night, and the whole trailer started to rock back and forth. Like, we were like, what's going on?
Like, is there an earthquake?
Yeah.
What is it?
And then we heard, so we weren't sure what it was. It was like it was moving. What's happening?
Mm-hmm.
So then we heard like a horse like making noises outside. So what it was a horse using one of the beds as a scratcher.
Yep.
He was just scratching himself against the trailer, making it go.
Because the flies, I guess, make them itchy. So
yeah,
he was like, "Oh, look, a scratching pose."
Yeah, and then another time we were out just like making s'mores or something, and it was really dark out, and we were by the fire, and a horse just came up and started walking. He was like maybe 7 feet away, and he just came up to our picnic table, started looking around, knocking stuff over.
It's like, "Oh, what's good here?"
Yeah, let's have some lemonade and some hot dogs. Sounds good. Yeah, lovely. Let us have that.
I don't know why horses talk like that, but they do.
So that was actually pretty cool, and he kind of looked at us once and then just kind of walked away. And so
it was just like he didn't care. He's like, "Yeah, I see this is your stuff, and I'm just gonna take it now. Okay, bye."
And so what we found out is the one scratching and the one at the table was the same horse, because we talked to one of the rangers, and his name was actually Chip. And see, there's 2 different parks in Assateague. There's the South and the West Park.
Well, there's Chincoteague.
Yeah,
which I think that's the state one.
Yeah.
And I think Assateague is the national one.
Right.
But they're very close to each other.
They're very close. So they try to keep the horses separate into the 2 different parks, but sometimes they cross. And see, Assateague has more of the wild horses. That's why they really say, don't touch them, don't feed them.
Yeah, they have a lot of rules about how you're supposed to act around them, because they're wildlife,
Yeah. But the other park, they're still wild, but they're more used to people, because they kind of just don't listen to the rules, and they feed them and they pet them. So they're more like domestic horses. So this horse, Chip, his dad was from the park there. They didn't listen to the rules.
The Chincoteague,
right,
which is where they had not good horses.
Right. And so this horse, it was hard to keep him just in the wild horses because his dad was over there. So he would go back and forth. So that's why he was like the one horse in Assateague that was just comfortable with doing these things.
Because he had seen the other ones that are like, "Oh yeah, people, you can just go take their stuff."
Right.
Which is a terrible idea, because people end up getting hurt.
Right.
Like a lot. Because they're horses.
Just leave him alone. But yeah, that's what happened. And they named him Chip because they said, he's a chip off the old block, because his dad was kind of like that too, where
they did what they want.
Yeah.
But no, I would totally go back there.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one is in Vermont. So in Vermont, we have an aunt and uncle and cousins who live there. Hi!
Hello! You might be watching this.
We went to visit them years ago.
Yeah.
And I think we had a tent in the backyard.
Yeah, we were camping
because we didn't have a trailer yet. So we were kind of like at their house, but camping in their backyard.
Because at the time they lived in like this cabin in the woods. It was like a house cabin, so it was definitely more into just the woods.
Yeah, so it felt like you were camping.
Yeah.
And we were, I think we were just asleep, and was it our mom that
I think she woke up and heard
it.
And
she heard a moose.
Yeah.
And it was like a weird sound that she didn't really know what it was at first. And
we'll play it here. Like, it's just really weird.
Yeah, it does not sound, here, you can listen to it, but it doesn't sound like a moose or anything.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's a moose, and it's kind of crazy sounding if you hear it. You're like, what's going on?
Especially like in the middle of the night, you're like, what the? And we're not, Vermonters.
No.
I don't know what you call them. But so we were not used to that. So it kind of freaked her out. But
then
now
we looked it up later.
That was a moose. We didn't actually see it. We kind of wanted to see one.
But oh well. So the next one is, again, our brother. He's had a lot of stories in wildlife. So the next one is, this was years ago, and we were camping. And we were in this park, and he decided to go for a bike ride. It was I think it was fall or something. And so he's going for his bike ride, and then he just happens to run into a black bear.
Look at that.
So he stopped, and it was kind of like he was in the road, and then the black bear was right over here, and he just kind of stayed still on his bike.
He's like, now what?
Yeah, so the black bear just kind of walked past him, right in front of him, and kept going, and it didn't attack him, thankfully, but it could have. So he just kind of stayed still, and it just walked away. So yeah.
I mean, I think out of all the bears, black bears are pretty much gonna leave you alone.
Yeah.
I guess the grizzlies that are the most scary.
Right.
All right. So again, our brother has another story, because he's just like Mr. Outdoorsy.
Yeah.
This time he was in Virginia, and he was out like on one of the trails. I don't really know what he was doing, but he was by himself, and there were like 3 coyotes that started like circling him.
What?
Like as he was
3
walking.
coyotes.
Like he was walking, and then he would like see, and they'd go around this way, and then there'd be another one. They'd go around this way, and he just kind of stood there. He's like, well, I don't know what else to do.
I would be freaking out, like screaming, but he's very laid back, so he's just like, well, I'll just stand here.
I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah.
And
so,
they didn't do anything. They left.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're by yourself with coyotes. That's not
3
a good
coyotes
scenario.
Just
totally
running
outnumbered.
around you. Yeah.
And we kind of asked people later, and like coyotes don't do that.
No.
Like usually,
like we were asking other rangers and stuff. Like, wow,
Yeah.
that doesn't happen ever. Like,
they stay away from people.
Yeah,
usually.
they don't like people usually.
So the fact that they were circling him was really weird. We still don't know why they did it.
Yeah, we don't. But so the last one is, it happened years ago. I was 5 at the time.
She is still scarred by this story.
Well, not scarred.
Yes, you are.
But for some reason, I never forgot this memory. I was 5, yet I remember everything.
Because it scarred you. That's what happens.
Well, it's an interesting story. So, it was about this bat. And at the time, we were up on our 3rd floor. We had these bunk beds at the time. So Laura was on the top, I was on the bottom, and we were in our bedroom. And there was a window behind us, behind the bunk beds. And it was like, I don't know, 2 or 3 in the morning. I was laying in bed, and I woke up because I heard this flying back and forth. Like, what is this? And I thought it was maybe a bird, so I woke up, and I just saw this thing just get flying back and forth from our bunk beds. And so I tried to wake her up, and she was like, gosh, I remember this. I was like, Laura, there's like a bat or something in her. And she's like, no, it's just a bird, just go back to bed.
Okay, no, I said it was a moth because you have been known to look at moths as creatures from the worst place possible and think that they're ginormous and huge and scary.
Yeah,
so I just thought, or stink bugs. I'm like, she probably just thinks it's a...
Yeah, so she was just like, it's fine, just go back to bed. I went to get our brother, and then he went downstairs to get our parents, and he said, I'll never forget this, he told our parents, he went, there's a moth in our room and it's this big. He didn't care. He's just... nobody was taking him serious.
Like, he was just tired.
Right. So they came up and we went in the bedroom. And as we were up there when he was getting our parents, we heard it. It was banging against his door. It was like flying away, then banging into the door, banging the door. So we all run downstairs, and my mom's like, she's telling our dad, just get stuff on. I don't want you to get rabies. So it was the middle of the summer, and he's putting on like 3 wool sweaters, like 3 hats, and these gloves. Because she's so worried that he's gonna get scratched.
Yeah.
So he went upstairs, and the bat was just flying back and forth, and obviously it gotten through the window because I think there's a hole in the screen.
They don't need much space, really.
No, they don't. So he opened the window, and it just flew out, and it just left. And he didn't get rabies. So
he's still alive.
Yeah,
to
he's
this
alive.
day.
Yeah, but it was funny because I think before he got rid of it, we went up and he turned on the light, and we finally saw this big black bat, and we were like, ah! We ran down the stairs. We were so scared.
It was not a moth.
No. See, I was right that time. It was
that
a bat.
time. Usually not the case. But that time you're right.
Yeah, but that is our stories of wildlife. And we've even heard like coyotes. Like our mom has heard coyotes when we were in the Grand Canyon, or actually a few streets down from us. We were walking down and we heard coyotes somewhere. So
I saw a fox the other day. That was pretty cool.
When did you see a fox?
I was driving somewhere. I swear it was a fox. Like it was. It couldn't have been a coyote because it was little and it was like reddish orange and had the puffy tail.
Was it just on like somebody's yard or something?
Yeah, I was just driving through it was like there was land, but there were still houses. So.
Wow, I did not know that. So she saw a fox too.
I think, or it was a tiny coyote. I don't know.
Yeah, so that is our stories of wildlife. Hope you enjoyed that. And let us know in the comments below if you've encountered any wildlife, anything at all. It's all very interesting. And now it is time for the news.
Today, we begin our news broadcast with squirrels. Yes, that's right, squirrels. Flying squirrels, to be exact. One brave member of the flying squirrel family has decided to be the first to fly across the Atlantic Ocean. He will be heavily relying on wind power and passing seagulls to help, he claims. Right now, he is still unable to cross the shallow part of a nearby lake, but nonetheless, he continues to press on to discover the nuts that live across the sea.
And folks, somewhere, somehow, birds will poop on your car. Be careful out there, folks. It's dangerous. And now it is time for the Taylor Treasure Box.
Okay. I got a would you rather. What'd you get?
I have to make dramatic faces, which I'm very good at because of the news. I can just do that again. As you think of or tell your would you rather, I'll do my dramatic faces.
Would you rather have to go through every red light or every stop sign? That's a good question. I mean, I feel like if it was a red light and you got there like right as it turned red, like before the yellow got there, then you could safely make it through because nobody goes like that fast when their light has just changed. So, but if you have to go through after it's already been red for a while, then that's pretty dangerous. And stop signs, I mean, neither one is preferable, but I suppose I would pick stop signs because you wouldn't run into as many people and you could get around things too a little bit better. And red lights, I feel like you'd probably end up crashing. So, there you go. That's my answer.
To be honest, I heard none of that. I was too focused on my dramatic
doing
faces.
Something? I didn't even notice.
See? I'm doing
Just kidding.
But so we hope you enjoyed that episode. Make sure to give us a like and a comment and subscribe. Make sure to press that bell so you get all of our videos in your notifications box, or just come back every Thursday.
Do that.
Yeah, and
we'll be here.
We will be here always, forever and ever. But after you can check out our channel and some of our other videos, and we will see you next week. Bye! Hey guys, thanks for watching that episode. If you'd like to subscribe down here, that would be awesome. Subscribe!
Videos over here.
And if you want to watch a previous episode, you can click up here. And if you'd like to watch a random episode, you can click down here. And we'll see you next time. Bye!